the cashier at the front. We're just going to say, well, we'll go Tim Hortons. As you can see, I need to practice printing here. Okay, so we got Tim Hortons. And that just means for every hour that you're working there, you're getting paid a specific amount. And we discussed yesterday that minimum wage in June will be going up to $11 an hour. That's hourly pay. The next one is commission. Blech. I don't personally like this one. You get paid for the amount of work you accomplish. So, for example, if you're working in sales, a real estate agent gets paid on commission. They get, say, 7% of any house they sell. And so if the house costs $100,000, they end up with $7,000 in their pocket. If they don't sell a house, they don't get anything. So an example would be a real estate agent. This is an interesting profession in that you only need a high school degree to do it. You can make a lot of money doing it if you're good at it. You do have to take a couple courses after high school, but you don't need college or university. So real estate. So that would be like a career example. Another example of a job might be working at the mall. Like some jobs in the mall, say you're working, I don't know if Foot Locker does it, but if you're working at Foot Locker and perhaps they will pay you for the number of shoes you sell. So in some stores, they'll say, okay, we'll pay you $4 an hour below minimum wage. And then for every pair of shoes you sell, we're going to give you $10, right? So we'll say like a mall business. Clothing stores often do that. Okay, and that's why when you're at the Gap or Sport Check, when you go to the checkout, they're always like, did somebody help you? Because that person's going to get credit for your purchase, right? So mall businesses. Salary means you get paid yearly. So for example, and a lot of professions get paid annually. So what you might find is you sign a contract to work with a company and they say, okay, we're going to pay you $50,000 a year to do this job. And they break it up over the year and pay you equally over the year. But you're given a specific amount. So an example of a profession that gets paid like this, it's usually a full-time job. So like a full-time nurse might get paid like this. Okay, now you get part-time nurses, they get paid for the work they do. Okay, so they don't get paid a salary. Full-time means, okay, you're expected to put in a specific number of hours over a year. You have to do it, and you're going to get paid this amount. So full, I didn't put the word time there, but full-time nurse, teachers definitely get paid on salary. And those are often jobs where, you know, you've got people that they're sometimes working beyond the workday or what appears to be the workday, but they're just expected to get a certain amount of work done, regardless of where they do it. Piecework. Oh, this means you get paid again for what you do. So often picking apples in an orchard, picking berries for a company, you'll get paid for the number of liters of berries you pick. And if you're into it, planting trees is piecework. So you get paid for every tree you plant. And I actually did this job, and it's crazy because you'll get people in 2 months who can make like up to $15,000, which is a huge chunk of change. You'll get some people that are losing money doing the job. And so, you know, both piecework and commission really depend on the person's motivation level and ability to deliver, right? Kind of stressful for the individual, but if you're good at it, hey man, you can rake in the coin. Okay, question 4. If you have a job that pays hourly, use your rate. If you do not have a job that pays hourly, use minimum wage. And you can decide what minimum wage is. So it's either going to be $11 that comes up in June. And notice the the dollar notation being used. We've got a dollar sign and a decimal separating the dollars from the cents. And in the cents location, we have 2 digits holding place value. Okay, so for example, this number represents every 10 cents and this represents every 1. We don't have any coin here, but we still need to make note of it. Because it's a rate, right, it's $10 per hour, so we have to show that in our units. The current minimum wage, if you want to use that, we figured that out yesterday, it's $10.25. So again, good dollar notation, $10 decimal, and then we show our cents in the final following the decimal. So the hourly rate, well, I just indicated that right there. So I've actually answered question A. I'm going to go with the $10.25 an hour that people are currently paid for minimum wage. Now, this is not a level 4 answer. Let's make it level 4. There are some good things about this answer. There's correct dollar notation. So we've got a dollar sign to the left of the number. We have our dollars before the decimal. The decimal divides the dollars from the cents. But what we need are the correct units. So it's $10.25 per hour. What we then need to do, so that's level 3, because I've clearly answered the question correctly. I have the correct units. I've used the correct mathematical notation. What I need to do now is make it clear to my reader what I'm showing. So I'm going to put a title on my work, hourly rate. So hourly. And finally, so that's at level 4 now because there's a title on the work. Okay, now the next question says, if you work 20 hours at this rate, what is your pay? Well, we need to use our minimum wage amount, which is $10.25 per hour. And we could add it to itself 20 times because for every time you work an hour, you're going to get paid $10.25. So we're talking over $100, right? So I'm going to do it the quick way though. Instead of going $10.25 plus $10.25 20 times, I'm going to just multiply $10.25 by 20 hours. And when we do that, right now I'm punching it into my calculator. I should show you on the screen, but I'm not. So $10.25 multiplied by 20 hours. It's going to give us $205. Okay, and this ends up being the amount of money paid before deductions. Now this answer, if I were to leave it like this, it's a level 3. We've got the right answer, $205. We've showed our thinking. We've shown the person even exactly how they'd punch it in the calculator. $10.25 times 20. We've even put in the rates per hour. 20 hours. Oh, I gotta get this back. Sure. I'm gonna switch the color of pen while we're in here. Let's make it green. Boom. And we're back. Okay, so this person's done a ton of stuff right. They've even used good math notation, which we've talked about. Dollar sign to the left, cents to the right of the decimal. What they haven't done is in their answer use proper dollar notation. So they need to add the decimal followed by cents. They also could include a therefore statement, or they could include, for example, a title, right? I would say that I'd write a sentence to explain what the answer is. So therefore, that's our symbol for therefore, my pay, and notice I'm just copying out a piece of the question, right? So my pay, I've just copied that, would be $205. And you could be even more explicit, right? My pay would be $205 if I were to work a 20-hour shift or 20 hours over a week.